When my friends and I heard that Spain was open to tourism, we were super excited to plan our first international trip since the start of COVID more than a year ago. We planned to see Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, and Sevilla. Our 2-week trip began with a flight from San Francisco to New York. It was a really early flight and we had a small phone mishap, but we made it happily to JFK, and I was pretty shocked to see the crowds there. We took advantage of our layover to check out TWA Hotel at JFK Airport. It features mid-century modern architecture and furnishings. With the ambiance and the music, I really felt like I was transported back to the 60s. Then we got some snacks at the Alaska Lounge before boarding our final flight to Madrid. Hi. How would you rate this experience so far?
A 7.
What? A 7? I had a pretty restful flight and was really eager to land. Our first stop was our hotel. We stayed at the B-Mate Plaza España Skyline, which was about $215 a night. We were all pretty pleasantly surprised by the spacious and comfortable accommodations of our 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit, which also included a kitchenette and a living area.
This is the skyline view.
We took the metro almost everywhere. It was €150 for a single fare trip, but you also have to buy a plastic smart card for $250. You can also purchase a multi-day pass, which may work out to be more cost-effective and convenient depending on how much you plan to use the metro. Good? Cheese empanada and an arepa, avocado sauce. Caesar enjoying it. We're at the park and we're trying to figure out how to use this bicycle. Easy mad. So what we're trying to do,
Get a bike
and
go off-roading.
We couldn't get the city bikes to work, so we ended up renting from Rent and Roll. The prices were very reasonable and the staff was friendly and lenient with the return time. This is our first time biking together, even though we've known each other for so long, because Caesar never wants to bike with me. Caesar, are you having fun?
Yeah. Getting tired.
We just started. Let's go on a boat.
I know you want to.
I'll paddle you. I will.
Beat me in a bike race.
I for sure can beat you in a bike race. Let's go. We biked around El Retiro Park, which is one of the largest parks in Madrid. It's located at the edge of the city center, super close to the famous Prado Museum, which we went to afterwards. It's filled with green lawns, sculptures, fountains, and a cute lake where you can rent a boat. One of the most famous attractions of the park is the Crystal Palace. It's made entirely of glass with a cast iron frame, and it's in the shape of a Greek cross. It was built in 1887. Caesar, what did you notice about the relaxation levels here?
Everyone is minding their own business.
Not in a rush, reading books in the middle of the Tuesday.
Doing yoga.
Lifting weights. No one's upset. Everyone's happy. I think we should move here.
Yeah.
We're at the, how do you pronounce it?
Mercado.
San Miguel.
San Miguel.
Which is basically a really, really nice market / food court, right? And this is what I got.
An empanada.
Empanada.
De queso. Bocadillo. De
salmon.
Jamón. Oh.
Jamón? Is that how you say salmon? Jamón?
No. Jamón is ham.
Oh, it's salmon.
Salmón.
It's smoked salmon with mozzarella.
Y tomato.
I'm fluent in Spanish now.
Basically.
On the third and final day in Madrid, I snuck a little visit to a cute leather store filled with colorful bags and wallets. I also bought some veg tan leather from another store for a really great price. We're on our train from Madrid to Barcelona. It's a 2-hour, 45-minute ride. This is our train. We bought our train tickets online ahead of time, and they were $65. We stayed at the B-Mate Paseo de Gracia in Barcelona, which was extremely centrally located. Just like our B-Mate in Madrid, this one was very spacious and well furnished. We paid $280 a night for this 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit, which also included a laundry machine. We booked all of our hotels through Hotels.com. It worked out really well because they give you credit for 1 free night after you've booked 10 nights with them. Should I pretend to be a tour guide? It was built in 1776 by Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss modeled this after his famous book, Green Eggs and Ham. As you can see, a lot of the architecture here resembles that.
Ling, do you like this?
Caesar thinks these little, what is it? Agaves? Agaves look like carrots that you can
be plucked out.
ready to be plucked out.
Or it could be like a little baby with just a few hairs.
That's cute too. Okay, here are some real facts about the park. Admission is $10, which was well worth it. It was built from 1900 to 1914 and opened to the public in 1926. It was designed by Gaudi, who drew inspiration from organic shapes. The initial intention was to build a luxury housing site for 60 houses, but it ended up being turned into a municipal garden. We're having brunch at a cafe before we go to the beach, and our food looks so good. Caesar got a chicken poke bowl, is that what it is? And I got French toast. We took the public bus to the beach. The ticket was €240 and we paid for it using the TMB app. Since Caesar and I had such a blast biking around Madrid, we wanted to explore the beach in Barcelona by bike as well. The prices were just a tad higher than they were in Madrid, but honestly still quite affordable. It was a lot of fun navigating the narrow cobblestone streets that eventually spit us out close to the beach. The weather at the beach was extremely hot, but we were thankful for the light breeze here and there. We got our bikes, we're at the beach, and it's so nice here. We explored along the beach for a little while, enjoying the really wide bike paths, but then we got kind of tired and decided to turn around and scout out a spot to take a little rest. We made it to the beach and we were gonna sit at one of these things, and it was €36, and we were like, that's too much. So we ended up sitting here, and it's way better. We got some drinks, and I got a Sprite because I'm cheap and I don't drink alcohol. On our ride back to return our bikes, I couldn't help but marvel at just how bike-friendly Barcelona is. In fact, the transportation systems throughout the city are so good that you really don't need a car and you can pretty much get anywhere within 30 minutes. I traded in my bike for some walking shoes and trekked up to the top of the bunkers. It offers 360-degree bird's-eye views of Barcelona from an altitude of 262 meters. Locals like to set up little picnics and enjoy the views from the bunkers. It's also a great place to catch the sunset or the sunrise. On our last day in Barcelona, we visited Casa Vicens, which is Gaudi's first commissioned masterpiece. It's a summer home built for Vicens between 1883 and 1885. I was happy to pay the €16 admission fee because the house was packed with cool and educational exhibits. Don't forget to bring your own earphones for the self-guided tour. Next, we went to Casa Batlló, which is a Gaudi masterpiece located in the center of Barcelona. I was kind of disappointed that most of the upper floors were blocked off, but the main floor, the loft, and the roof were all pretty interesting. I enjoyed the very end, where you stand in a room and you're immersed in Gaudi-related images. All 6 sides of the room are covered, and it was quite visually stunning, if even a little overwhelming. I don't think the overall experience was worth more than €15, and I definitely enjoyed Casa Vicens much more. If you're planning a trip to Barcelona, I would leave this at the bottom of your list unless you're a huge Gaudi fan. After seeing the 2 Gaudi houses, we walked over to La Boqueria to refuel. It's basically a big open-air food court, much like the Mercado San Miguel. Later that evening, I explored Montjuïc, which is a sprawling hill and park that has a palace, a grand fountain, a castle, and a botanical garden, along with lots of other stuff that I didn't have time to see. I also went to this really cool bar near the park called Salts. It's located at the top of a swimming stadium and has gorgeous views of the city and live music. Then I watched in awe for a good 30 minutes as people danced bachata in the square. It was quite infectious, and I'm kind of considering taking lessons. Alright, that's all I got for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, where we explore Valencia and Sevilla.
Solo un rayo del sol cambia el tiempo en el reloj. Hoy mis deudas reciben perdón. Pago por el show.